Okay, so we are live. We're just waiting for this to come through on YouTube. It should just be a couple minutes. We got a few people waiting already. Hello, everyone.
Oh my God.
Okay, come on, YouTube. There it is. Okay, let me just make sure the sound's coming through. All right, good. All right, hello, everybody. We are just going to go ahead and get started. This is Michele Christensen, and we're here on my YouTube channel. And this is an episode of the OneNote Planner Creator Series for 2021. My guest is Melissa Rothén. She is the designer and creator of the Planner Meadow Etsy shop. Melissa is going to give us a tour of her planner and show us some of the features that make it special. We'll be taking your questions and comments throughout this live video in the YouTube chat box. And if you're catching this on replay, you can add questions or comments below in the video description. There'll also be links to find Melissa online so you can ask her questions about her planner or anything else that she sells. You can post or share about this event using the hashtag OneNotePCS. That stands for OneNote Planner Creator Series, or OneNote PCS 2021. Now, before I tell you about Melissa, I wanted to see if anyone who is with us live is already using any of Melissa's products. And if not, what features are you looking for in a OneNote planner? And that way we can, address that as we talk. So you can type either of those things in the chat box now. So welcome, Melissa.
Thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
Oh, it is my pleasure. We got a few people. Hi, Deb. Hi, Tracy. I wanted Melissa to present her planner here because this planner and everything in her shop is just really beautiful. And in a minute, we'll learn more about her design philosophy, but everything she makes has this like very calming and natural feel to it. If you've seen any of my OneNote tutorials, you'll know that I use mostly plain texts and lists. So I don't do much with making my pages look nice, but her planners are not only useful and well designed, but they also feel that desire to have something really nice to look at as you go about your day. And I feel like her work embodies the OneNote Pretty Pages hashtag. Now, just to be clear, this is not a sponsored video. She's not paying to be here, and I'm not paying her to be here. And this is true of all the planner creators I'm hosting in this series. I just wanted to, for people that are interested in this, I wanted to give them a place to see these planners. And that's all that's going on here. So let me tell you about Melissa. Well, I will check the chat, and then I'll tell you about Melissa. All right. So we just have people saying hi. Very nice to see you all. So Melissa, as I said, she's the designer and creator behind the Planner Meadow shop on Etsy. She sells digital planners for OneNote and other PDF reading apps on Etsy. Her shop's on Etsy. Melissa is a 28-year-old mother of 2 daughters, and she's an art teacher who lives in Sweden. She first started using OneNote at work, and then she used it with her students. And as a mother and a teacher, she couldn't find a planner that worked for both home and work. And when she couldn't find anything that worked, she created her own. And then she realized that everyone would like different kinds of planners. Yes to that, huh? And she came to think about it as a meadow. And imagine a meadow with the most beautiful flowers, and each flower is the most beautiful to a single individual. And this is what she wanted to create, but with planners. And this is how Planner Meadow was born. And I just have to tell you, I love this philosophy so much because it's so true in both nature and in like using a planner. Like everyone has different needs, and everyone has like a different thing that they find beautiful. And that's also true with flowers. I just love that. So awesome.
Yeah, it was like the thing that made me come up with the name, because that's quite hard.
Yeah.
To come up with the name.
Yeah. But it's just neat that you have something that is not only true in nature, but it applies to your, creations as well. It's, and that's why I do like that your designs are all very nature inspired, very beautiful. So I'm going to turn it over to Melissa, and go ahead and share your screen. There should be a share button at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, you did that already. Let me go. Let me go ahead and share your screen. Yeah. Okay. So the thing you're showing today is it's so there's a section that has all the personal stuff in it, and then there's a section for teachers as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I'm going to show you the planner in 2 sections, as you mentioned.
Okay.
One section where you can see all the personal planner stuff, and then I'll go into a bit deeper into the teacher planner part of it. So let's just start out with the monthly, and I filled it out just to show you just a bit how you could use it. You could handwrite if you use an iPad or a tablet of any kind, and you can of course use text boxes. And I created links throughout the whole planner, so you will always reach the different parts of the planner by clicking the small figures or pictures. And
I don't know. Do you have the capacity to zoom on your screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you do, I think that would be great because these links are really great.
Let me see.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Over here, so I can see if they.
Oh, you
Yeah,
you actually don't need to. You can just stay talking to me in StreamYard.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so and maybe if you could just scroll over to the right so we can see your links.
Yes, I got links up here, and then I got the links on the side. So all these small pictures are like the links to the passwords, to the notes, and then of course you have those blue dots that link to different months.
Wow. So this is great. Like, I want to just really make sure everyone's seeing this because these clickable tabs are something that people talk about all the time, how OneNote doesn't really have clickable tabs like some of the other, like if you were to use GoodNotes or some of the other ones, you can have actual tabs that are clickable. But you have actually made clickable tabs. So if I clicked on passwords, it would take me to my passwords. And if I clicked on January, the little blue dot would take me to January.
Yes.
That's really awesome. I love that you've actually made clickable tabs.
Yeah. So I haven't, I just added the next page, part 2. Unfortunately, as it is OneNote, if you want to move the pages around, that won't work. But the notes and the password will still take you to the correct pages. So I'm going to show you the first week. I'm going to show you the second week actually, because this is an empty one, just to show you how it looks like when you get it. So it's quite plain, and you got of course the tabs with the clickable links from the next page. And if you click the before page over here, I've pre-made a layout. So I added a sticker and then just filled it out just so you can see how you can work with it on iPads or in a computer and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's so I love the mix of like there's these pre-formatted graphic elements, there's a sticker, there's some handwriting, there's some typed text. Like that's like my favorite thing to see, like just things mixed together like that.
Yeah, I wanted really to show off that you can use it whatever works for you. Because some like your own handwriting and some people don't.
Sure.
And over here I have a clickable link. Because this is my lesson plan, I'm going to show something called umbrella, but I'm going to get to that when we talk more about the teacher planner part. But
so on that day, that Wednesday, like if you had plans and if there was something like a document or an invitation or directions or something, you would put a link right on the planner page. Yeah. Okay.
Go straight to that.
Yeah.
Instead of clicking around searching for it.
That's awesome. And it looks like the monthly tabs still work even though you're on a weekly page. Like those are still clickable.
You can let's see. Yeah, so I get, when I click January, I get back to the monthly view.
Mm-hmm.
And from there you can click forward. So that's the calendar part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to, I'm going to show you the passwords, because both the calendar, the passwords, and the notes are in all the personal planners. So that's the same. And this is just a page for filling out passwords if you, like me, always forget the different pages. So here you could just write Facebook and then enter in the password you use, like hello. And then we have the notes. So, and of course, if I want to, I could always do the big screen instead of having it small. I can use the links all throughout. So I could use the password picture to get to the passwords and the notes to go to the notes. So I actually don't need to use those sections.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So you got the lined versions for writing down stuff, and then you got blank versions. And here you could do loads of stuff. You could copy them and you can put them next to the weeks or in the end of a month. So I just made a really quick kind of showing what you could do. You could have dinner plans. You could have water, what you call, like follow your water intake, and then you could just have your, here you can move it around. So that's that. So that's like the personal planner.
Mm-hmm.
So to speak.
Okay, so let me just see if I have any questions here. Okay, so you said all the personal and the all have calendar, notes, and passwords. And then the other stuff and then the weekly and the monthly and the blank pages all come. And so what else? I just want to see if there was any other questions I wanted to ask. Okay, so I think we're good on that. And then this is sort of the stuff you're going to show now would be more specific for teachers, but it's like integrated right into the planner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've thought about a teacher planner for myself. So obviously it's not going to work for everyone, but I'm always up for suggestions if you want something custom made. But I'll go into it and show you how it looks like. So I have lesson planning. And here I'm going to zoom in a bit. Whoa. So I've just made a simple Monday, Tuesday, the week, and then the different weeks down here. And then I just type in what we're going to do. And if there's like a holiday or no lesson, maybe I just enter it in there and I'll have a overview of what we're going to do this semester.
So this page we're looking at has 5 weeks going down the side and then Monday through Friday across the top. And so okay, and then you've got weeks the 6 through 10 over here. So this shows 10 weeks,
10 weeks,
Monday to Friday, and you could see like how like the lessons would build on each other. Like this would be like the 50 lessons in a row overview.
Yeah. And if you have different, like on Tuesdays, I have year 7, that will be that row. And I have year 4, I have them on Thursday and on Monday. So that will go, they will like go together because we will keep working on that assignment.
And this would be for one class. So if you have like someone who teaches, is that correct? So like if you have someone who teaches, 6 classes a day, this would be for like period 1 of the day. And then you do another one of these for period 2.
Yes, you can customize it and use it how you like.
Okay.
And if you feel like this is not for me, you can always take those away, add in blank pages, or however you want to do it. Yes. So over here, I have the link again for the umbrella assignment, and I've made an extra page in this planner. You can have it in some other OneNote workbook, or you can have it in the same one. So you can just have a page where you have the whole assignment, easy to just copy and send to the students or whatever.
Yeah, that's really neat. Like, I love that the two views, like, because the one gives you like the sort of the semester progression, and you're an art teacher, so I could really see how like you'd have to start with like basic skills and build, and would show you like the whole progression. And then if you need a more detailed lesson plan for that day, or you're going to use like a link from the web, you can just put it right in there, like you have that umbrella page linked. That's, you know, I love that it's so easy to go back and forth from the top view to the detail.
Yeah, so it's a good overview to see what we're going to do next week. Oh, that lesson is not going to happen. What are they missing? Okay, can we push that forward? It's very easy to just get the overview. Even if I have a substitute, I can just send this to them and they will know a bit what they're going to do.
And that's really great too. Like, I hadn't really thought about that, but if you can even get this like you know, overview done, and then you have pages linked, it's like it would be really easy to hand this off in the event you have to be out for some reason.
Yeah. You can always send it to your colleague or even the substitute if you know them, and they can see all the details. They can see what you had planned this week or stuff like that.
Tracy Smith, who's listening right now, she's an ed tech expert in the US here, and I'll be curious to see what she thinks of all of this. She's more on the tech end though, and you know, you're an art teacher, so
so that's a bit different, but
I
imagine that we could really use each other.
Sure. And you know, we're in the US, we're really having like a time of it, because like all the school districts are totally different. Like some are going back, some aren't, and stuff. So it's, you know, it's been tough for people. Okay, so that's kind of like the lesson planner for 10 weeks at a time with a link to detail. And then what's the next thing for teachers?
The next thing I have made is the assignments, and this I created just because I found in the beginning of my teaching that the children, they give me a art they've made, and I maybe put it in my office, and then they come and look to me like, did you get my art painting? Yes, I did, because I've checked it in my assignments. So if I'm a hand in something, I will just put a cross, or like I did here, I will actually do the grading in here. So I put the, like, here you go, the umbrella assignment. I can just put a cross, or just put the grade in. And if Carl maybe comes and he says, I handed in my umbrella. No, you did not. I didn't put a cross in. And then he will have to find it. Maybe he has it at home or put it somewhere else. So that saves me time from searching in my office if I've misplaced anything. And it's very easy when it's time to put the grades in. I can easily see if someone doesn't get a good grade. Like, okay, they missed 10 assignments. That's why they don't get a good grade. And it's easy for them to see too that, okay, I can see why I did get an E, for example, because I got it on all the assignments. So it's a good overview, both for me and if I want to show the students.
Yeah.
And
this is cool. And like, I can see so much usefulness for this, because like that first one, I think it says perspective. Like, let's say you were further on in the semester and, you have your students, and maybe you can see like right away, there's like 3 blank squares or 2 blank squares or whatever. You can see like exactly what's missing. And, if there's any pattern, like if a specific student isn't turning things in, or maybe this one assignment isn't getting turned in, and maybe there's a problem with the assignment. So that,
exactly. So it's been very helpful the past few years.
And it's pretty too, it's like nice to look at, it's got the handwriting, and you can use whatever color ink you like and stuff. So that's, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's nice to play around with.
Yeah.
And of course, if you want to, you can use this, because the empty one looks like this. So if you wanted to, you could have it as a habit tracker if you want to personalize it. So it's quite useful, I would say.
Yeah. And, one of the things that was interesting, like that I was thinking about after we talked, was that, so you started this because, you're both a mother and a teacher, and you couldn't find something that met both your needs. And so I really like that for people who are teachers. Like, first, it's if you just want a personal planner, that's fine. Like, you've got that.
Yeah.
But if someone is a teacher and they want all of their, I like to call it like stuff, like just all the stuff from their life and their work, it's all in one place. It's all available on your phone. Like, I think that's great.
Yes, it's very handy, because I used to have 2 planners, one for work and one for home. And I just needed to work some overtime, and I forgot I had a dentist appointment or something, because I didn't have it in my planner. So it's really nice to have it all in the same place. Not confusing at all.
Yeah. And if you ever get like, caught somewhere, like if you're at, like, say one of your kids has an event and it runs late and you're supposed to be at home doing something, you can pull your phone up and say, okay, what do I need to prep for tomorrow? It's just all right there.
Yeah.
Let me just check the comments here.
Yes.
So Tracy Smith, who is our ed tech person, she says, I have some teachers that might really be interested in this. I'm always talking up using OneNote for planning to them. Yeah, she's a huge OneNote user. And sometimes I think stuff like this, I think, where it bridges the gap between that, like a very techie sort of, just basic functional thing. It is all that, but it's also nice to look at. This, I think, would be appealing to certain people.
In between.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really nice, because I've used OneNote Classbook and Teams in school for the students, and that's on the next page of the student information.
Okay.
So let's jump into that. So here I got just basics, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows that this probably is different in different countries, if it's okay to have like phone numbers in OneNote, or if it needs to be in some truly locked place or stuff like that, because there's always regulations. But this is quite handy. Even if you don't use like the home address or the phone numbers, you could always put in information that you need. Like, we've got Emma. I could just link her to her OneNote Classbook pages. And then if I click on her, I will see all the assignments she's been handling in OneNote. So don't even have to get it handed to me physical. She could scan her art pieces and put it in the OneNote Classbook, and I don't need to search for it, because it's right there if I click the link on Emma, which is really handy. So it will be all in one place. You don't have to look in other places, and that's really nice.
Yeah. And, you did mention the thing that in some places, they might not be able to store the student's personal information, but this stuff you have here, that would be like really important. And like, you could imagine there's like all kinds of little things that would be really handy to have about each student, that maybe this person is really shy, or this person's mother asked you to look out for something, like, I love that.
You can use everything.
Yeah.
Like, for me as an art teacher, I always forget that students are colorblind, and you hand them something and they're like, oh, darn, they're colorblind. I can't give them this. They won't be able to do it. And over here, I will clearly see that she's allergic to peanuts and she's colorblind. And that will connect to this page. And what I've done here is that I've just taken a picture of the Swedish art curriculum, pasted it in here, and then I can, when I do look at her art pieces, I can just mark the goals she reaches. So it's connected to her. And I don't know how they do in other countries, but this is a quite common thing in Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, I can, if it's not the Swedish art curriculum, it could be like whatever the person's teaching and whatever curriculum they're using. Like there's going to be something equivalent, so I would imagine.
It's empty if you get, I've just filled in this part just to show you how you can use it. So it's going to look like this when you get it. So it could be notes over here. It could be a picture of the student, just so you get a face. You can use it in any way you like.
I always wonder too, like at the beginning of the year, how teachers learn everybody's name,
Oh my, you don't. I don't know how many times I've been like, oh, honey, can you come give me this? And I use nicknames just so I don't have to say the wrong name. But it would be very handy to have like a picture of the student just to connect the name to the person. Yeah,
that's a great idea. And let me just see if there's any questions. And we were going to say something about password protecting a section.
Yeah, right. Yes. So like if you have the student information and maybe you have your computer in front of the classroom and you're walking around, you don't want the other students to be looking and lurking. So then you can just do a password. And this is in Swedish, but it works the same. You just right click and use the password for this section. And then you will just have to put in a password to use. I can do it to show you. Say password. Just let you know how it looks like. So if I want to go to this student, maybe not. Why isn't it working? Well, it should appear a password box. You shouldn't see any of this if the password is working. And it should say enter the password before you can see anything. And after a while, when you've been logged in with the password, it will go back. So if it's not been touched in a couple of minutes or so, it will go back. So it's
and we have one warning for anyone that wants to password protect a section.
Yeah. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it, yes, because there's pretty much no way to recover it. If you password protect a section and you lose the password, there's like pretty much no way to recover it. So make sure you write it down someplace like outside of OneNote or someplace else. Although I did hear someone that was on Mary from Mom Behind the Computer was saying if you use like an iPhone or like an iPad type device, there might be a way where you can set up the thumbprint as well. So I can't speak to that, but apparently like that's a thing.
That works. I use it in my iPad when I have it. So you have a set password and you can connect it. So you can either use the written password or you can just use your thumb.
Oh, okay.
It actually works, yes.
All right.
So unless you get a big scratch on your thumb or something, it's going to work.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just see if we have any questions. And Paul from the UK is checking in. It's evening over there. And so I think that's everything that I wanted to ask about. We don't seem to have any questions at the moment. So let's jump into like if someone buys this planner, how do they actually get it?
Yeah. So I just tried to upload this particular planner. And because of all the links, it's not possible to have a direct download. but you will be able to put in your email, and I will send a OneNote file to you. And it's quite easy. I've been through this a lot now, so it hasn't been any problem since I figured it out. So the best way to do this is to actually use OneNote 2016 the first time you open the planner. Because if you use like the web-based or for Windows, it just doesn't work as well. So download OneNote 2016 for free, and then you can use any other version once you have opened it once.
Yeah. So the easiest is to use 2016, and that's a free download. If you have a Windows machine, or even if you can access one temporarily, like borrow one from a friend or whatever, you can still get OneNote 2016, load the planner, and then you don't need 2016 anymore after you do that. You can go back to whatever version. But then if you don't have access to OneNote 2016, Melissa has a workaround for that. And, you know, as she said, she's done this a whole bunch of times, and so far, there's been no unhappy customers
everyone's
yet.
got it.
Yeah, she's got you covered on that. And you know, you kind of mentioned this a couple of times, but I wanted to kind of highlight it, that you will customize planners for people. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, because it is a planner Meadow, and we are all different. So even if I made a planner and I've got it for sale, and you think like, oh, I need this, or I don't want that, I will definitely help you if you just send me a message on Etsy or anywhere on my social media.
Yeah, and all of her links are in this video. So yeah, like how great is that to know that you can reach out to someone that will make whatever you need.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap up in a minute or two. So if you have any final questions for Melissa, type those into the chat box. And as I said, all the information you need to reach her is in the description of this video. You can feel free to comment on this video, but if you do have questions about the planners or anything that Melissa sells or anything in her shop or getting a custom order, you can reach out to her for that. I just won't be able to answer that as well as she can. So let me do one more check of the chat. And we don't have any more pressing questions. So thank you so much for being here. And thank you for working across a huge time difference. I think we're 9 hours apart, something like that. It's a big difference. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, truly.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure too. So if you like this, please let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to see more videos, including live streams from OneNote creators and then my monthly video podcast, which is called the Take Note Chat, you can subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here with us, and have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.